Okay. This is a One
Right.
Piece podcast. I don't know of a name yet. I don't know. What's it called? Tequila Wolf. I don't know if that's a bad name though, but
Yeah, no,
it's
I just say call it the RGV
the
One
RGV
Piece podcast.
the RGV One Piece podcast. There's that one too.
R- RGV Grand Line.
The RGV Grand Line. Yeah, that one sounds good too. I need to jot that down. Oh, it's here. It's in the recording. Um,
All right, you want to do a quick introduction of who we are and stuff?
uh, yeah. Do you want to use the tags we're using right now, or the?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm here. I'm introducing Hammer Time. Let's let's tell everyone a little about yourself, Hammer Time.
Well, I'm a bit of a jack of all trades, I guess, but I'm definitely a big One Piece fanatic. I'm working in the IT industry. I own an arcade. Play video games. Watch anime, manga, you name it. And yeah, I'm in my late 30s. Just turned actually, and yeah, I'm pretty stoked to be here. And One Piece is changing, and the dynamics is just it's going everywhere. It's all over the place, but it's awesome.
That's good. Yeah, One Piece. That is. I have a lot of history with that. Well, yeah, I guess people already know. Maybe I love One Piece too. I recently just graduated with my master's degree. I love writing. I want to make more One Piece content. I've been doing live reactions. I don't know if I should. They only stay. What I've noticed is that they only stay relevant for like a week, and then they kind of die out after that. Then you have to upload something new, versus like uploading a theory or some kind of discussion about a topic, which kind of stays relevant longer. I don't know if you get what I'm talking about right there. Like I was noticing that too.
No, it's
Yeah.
no. Maybe there might be a two-piece.
A two-piece, yeah, two-piece. I would so watch that. But yeah, I got some questions and all that, or stuff to discuss on here already. If you want to talk about it. Do you know anything about the number 16 related to One Piece? Have you heard anything about that?
Is this like one of those controversial theories that's from Japan?
Well, one piece of it is related to Japan. You don't recall anything related to the number 16 in One Piece in the series?
Jog my memory here.
Well, Luffy rang the ox bell 16 times.
Okay.
Yeah. Another thing I noticed is the Japan flag in real life. It's like a red sun with the red lines. The red lines, there's 16 of them.
Really?
Yeah. Another thing is Shirahoshi awakened her powers at the age of 16.
Wow, it's everywhere.
Doflamingo's attack. Holy shots God thread. 16 holy shots God thread. 16 in its name. And I just feel like there's more to just Doflamingo's so interesting. And the reason why Doflamingo labeled his attack 16 holy bullets was because when he was a kid and strung up on the wall, the townsfolk talked about how they would shoot him with 16 bullets. This was in chapter 763, so if anyone wants to check, yeah, that's where he's tied up. He's hanging on the wall with his dad and Corazon, Rosanante, and they threaten him like they first say we're gonna stick 1,000 arrows in them, and then what do you know? Doflamingo has an attack called 1,000 arrows, and he uses it on Luffy, and then 16 bullets. That's one of his attacks. But yeah, it was 16. I think that's really interesting. And then back with Leloucia, when when Sabo was on the phone with the revolutionaries, we weren't sure if Sabo was really there. He could have been somewhere else because Oda did kind of clever things with the scenes, but more than likely the rebels didn't hear him say that there's somebody on the throne. But I'll get back to that. But the beam that came out that landed on Leloucia that Im brought out has 16 beams, 16 lines of light. If you count them all, there's 16 of them. And that's on chapter 1060.
So where does all this lead to?
I was seeing, my Japanese is horrible, And I heard, I just didn't have time to look up, that Im also means 16, or a way to translate Im-san or something, Imu-san. But I don't know, 16 seems really important. It probably has something to do with like army, or 16 shots, or something with royalty, or something like maybe people in war do, or something like that. Like it probably has another like deeper meaning, like with history, like in real life history. But I found it interesting that it has the 16 red lines, and I got some of this from, not all of it, but some of it I was inspired by an Arter, you know, the One Piece YouTuber Arter with his theories and all that. Yeah. I watched one of his videos, and he's the one that talked about the holy shot, the Im-san's attack, and I didn't even think about counting the beams and all that. And man, number 16, try to keep that in your mind. And then, well, since we're already talking about Doflamingo, what are your thoughts on him? Like, do you think he's still relevant to the story, or he's done?
I'm pretty sure there's gonna. I mean, I've been hearing a lot of stuff about a second breakout from Impel Down, because Weevil and and then Marco and then Miss Buckingham, she like wants to get him back, and apparently Marco owes her a debt or something like that because of Whitebeard's inheritance, or the island, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's like a lot of discussion about that. I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but I definitely feel Doflamingo is not done. Like I even remember reading somewhere where Doflamingo was supposed to be like in the war with Kaido for when Wano was raided, right? But that didn't happen. So I don't know, different.
One thing you just made me remember is that Doflamingo originally wanted to take down Kaido. Both Law and Dolphy wanted to take Kaido down. They both had the same goals, somewhat, but Law ended up doing it. But I find Doflamingo super interesting because his Devil Fruits Awaken. He is a conqueror, and I think he's really good with his conqueror's hockey. And what he was doing so much with Birdcage and all these, like doing a lot of stuff while fighting Luffy and Law at the same time, and like. He was like on a whole other level, I thought. And the only reason why he lost to Luffy was because it was 2v1, and Law really put a big dent on him. And he was also drained from using Birdcage the whole time. But
yeah, it's kind of like the equivalent of Kaido. Like, of course, we read the manga, right? So Kaido went through a lot. Fought the Scabbards. He fought, the next generation. Zoro did what he did. He teamed up with Big Mom, So he got his own debt in a way, kind of. He was so powerful. He was his own type. He awakened in the end. But I still feel like Kaido could have been Luffy. And I mean, I still think Kaido's gonna be relevant. But it's the same thing with Doflamingo. Like,
well,
he did what he did. He had his own kingdom. He had his own background. He's a celestial dragon. He wants to go back. He knows the
the true treasure, the national treasure.
Yeah.
Which is probably the existence of Im-san, or somebody is on the throne, or the straw hat, or the weapon. Yeah, the 16. That's why he named his attack the 16.
He knows more
holy shots. Too. Yeah, he named it was based off the attack, but it was just weaker. But yeah, but we'll talk about Kaido right now too. But yeah, like I was saying, Doflamingo is like a true conqueror. And another thing I noticed, it was 2 Supernova, Law and Luffy versus Shichibukai, which is Doflamingo. And then later in Wano, it was Law and Kid. They had to team up to take down a Yonko. So Law needs to team up to take people down. So in order to take down Doflamingo, Luffy had to team up with Law. Do you think Kid is stronger than Doflamingo?
Not really.
You think Doflamingo could beat Kid?
I mean, do you mean it's in essence of like the pirate crew as a whole? Or
No, not the crew. Just a 1v1 fight. Because Kid doesn't seem to be able to utilize hockey that much. She just has a big, probably like Conqueror's Blast. I'm assuming that's like a Conqueror's Blast of hockey, or that big gun he has, that rail gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it probably mirrors the ancient weapon, to be honest. Also, could be
my honest answer is there isn't enough information.
There's enough information
because we haven't seen too much of him.
Okay.
Doflamingo, flashback about him. It was shown. It wasn't like off screen through an SBS. You know.
I'll go back to Kid with more parallels right now, but what about Katakuri? We've seen a lot of Katakuri and Dolphy, and they both came out around really close to each other.
Yeah, I would say probably Katakuri beat him.
You think Katakuri beat him too? I think.
First commander. So, you know.
Yeah, Katakuri has the whole his armor. He mastered armament hockey better than Doflamingo. He was able. He's the only character I think that showed the other form of armament hockey. Like, you know what I'm talking about? It was like a block or something he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've never mentioned that again after that. And but yeah, what Dolphy has over Katakuri is Katakuri also has observation, but Dolphy has the Conqueror's hockey. But he has, but like same thing with Kaido. Kaido didn't really. His fruit wasn't awakened, so that gives a reason for him to come back. Also, we could see him with like true potential of him being awakened, or we'll see Momonosuke awakened instead, if Kaido really is dead. But yeah, we didn't really get to see the true potential of Kaido because he wasn't awakened, but he did all this with just hockey. Like that was a specialty, more than his double fruit. And I think Doflamingo is another character that has a really good specialty with his hockey. Like I was saying, he's a true conqueror. Like I'm a huge Doflamingo fanboy. But back with the whole, you think he's gonna break out of prison? Yes, I think that is so possible, because not only do they want to break out Weavile, Doflamingo, you know who else is there? Queen, and Neo Mads was just formed, and yeah, so King and Caesar probably could, or Gastino, they probably want to get Queen out.
Yeah, I'll believe that. Some type of massacre or change or tragic event has to happen over there as well. Just like the rest of the world.
Foot Mercato 93. What's up? I don't know who you are, but I hope you like One Piece. Somebody joined the chat, is in the commenting in the chat. Oh, so what were you saying? I interrupted you.
No, that's fine. No, just saying how Neo Mads is making its comeback, its debut, right? And I'm sure they can figure something out. You know, they're all smart scientists. They might even help. You know, and I don't know if they've been impaled down, but you know, I'm sure they know something about it. And more tragic events are happening in One Piece.
Yeah, I like how we got that cover. Now we don't have a story anymore. The cover story, but it was kind of relevant to the plot, what was going on. But yeah, I'm liking it more and more. Like we're getting more about Mads. I'm liking more. It's making me like Queen even more, and especially Caesar and Judge, and the whole thing with Stussy and how she became relevant with that. And another thing I noticed was, what was I gonna say? It was with Mads. Was it with Mads? Oh yeah, with Vegapunk, with the whole, with York being the traitor. Oh, spoilers too if you haven't caught up with the recent chapters. Technically, York is a part of Vegapunk. So those desires, that what she wants, what she's yearning for, to be a celestial dragon and all that, that's something Vegapunk might want. She gets, you know, she's gonna have the funds because he's always doing weird things to get funds. He practically looked like he became a pirate. He joined Mads just for the funds. Egghead is a government-funded place just so he could get, you know, he's selfish for his research. That's pretty much the embodiment of York right now, what she's doing.
Yeah.
So,
agree.
Yeah.
Outfit.
So maybe with the whole, man, you know, a trick question is, I'm always having trouble when I'm recording or streaming, trying to name all the satellites. That's a hard question. I'm always missing like one. There's 7 of them. Good luck trying to name all of them. It's kind of tough. I think I kind of got them now. But yeah, back to the with York. Did you like how she was a traitor, or you think that was kind of dumb? Did you wish it was someone else?
I don't think I mean, I think every Vegapunk has their own agenda, personally. You be either good or bad. There's something going on with them, you know. And I think I read a theory, or not read, but I saw a theory the other day. And I don't know if you saw it. It was with Monkey D. Preach.
Maybe I don't know.
Anyways, it goes like this. That what was the name of that Vegapunk? The one that looks like a toy.
Edison, the other one, Pythagoras.
Yeah, the one that's with Robin and Brooke.
Yeah, that's I think that's that's Atlas. No, wait.
Yeah.
The one with the lightning gloves, right? The one that Lucci beat up with one hit.
Yeah. Anyways,
yeah, Atlas, yeah.
So Robin was saying something like, "Hey, let's go over here," and she made a face. You know, when a girl looks at you, like when she doesn't trust you, or like, it's like, why didn't you go with my idea instead? You know, that type of thing.
You think Atlas is in on it too? That it's not just.
I think the whole thing was plotted because, and the proof is, this is just from the theory itself. So the current trader right now, right? Remember, you should go back a couple of chapters, like when you have time. Look at the numbers of the Vegapunks, right? They all have a number, right?
Yeah.
Now look at the current traders and look at Atlas. Look at the numbers before and after. Because the current trader's laying down, right? You know, with her mouth all gooey, and then she finds out that the government betrayed her. She already had a backup plan. Well, I don't know. I just feel like there's more to the story, you know. But yeah, go do your research when you have a chance, or I'll just show you the theory video. But yeah, that's really like the guy backed it up, saying that there's something else going on. It's not. There's way more going on than we think. And then the whole Blackbeard ship just threw a curveball.
And the raft? You mean the Blackbeard raft that somehow made it before Kizaru, the guy that's like faster than the speed of light, and all these other Marines that are on their way? Like, how did the raft beat all those other? I thought that was also interesting. Who do you think that is? That's on the raft.
I want it to be Kuzan.
You wanted to be. You think so? He could prevent O'Hara 2.0 from happening,
or he saves Robin, or something.
Yeah.
Something. Just it's a lot to take in because, or it could be what's his name, Lafadil, the one that can manipulate.
Oh, like Lafiti.
The one that snuck in, to Virgil's party.
Yeah, I was hoping back with the whole with the trader. Like, I honestly was like, I guess it was York. Like, I wasn't like mad. It was just like, okay, like, let's just move on. And then we got when she had to explain like why she did explain her stuff in the recent chapter. I thought that was just a waste of like 4 panels. I'm like, no, we don't need to know. Really, like, Oda had to just do it to like. Because he was listening, like hearing the fans complain about it or something. But I personally wished it was Flamingo, the Doflamingo Seraphim, because Doflamingo wants to be a celestial dragon. Maybe the Seraphim has that in him also, and he's able to also control people. Maybe the Seraphim is better with his devil fruit powers and was able to manipulate the emotions of York. Or maybe there's a Lost Seraphim also, and the Lost Seraphim has the Ope no Mi and is able to use the personality switch thing and switch Doflamingo with York, the Doflamingo Seraphim.
Yeah, well, we haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure it's gonna come out.
They did confirm. I think there was 3 more, or 2 more Seraphims they haven't showed yet.
In the manga, or like
in the manga? Yeah, in the manga, I think they did. Yeah, they haven't shown them. Also with the whole you said you hope it's Kuzan that's on the Blackbeard ship.
The reason why is it'll make it more interesting.
Yeah, it would. He'll get to see Robin again. He'll probably have to be, who knows? I could see it going both ways, where he's gonna help out the Straw Hats, or he could go against, them, because he's got to prove his potential to Blackbeard. There's another thing where I was thinking, where the whole with Kuzan and Garp, how they know each other, that it's gonna be a Snape and Dumbledore like scenario where Garp lets Kuzan kill him just to prove his royalty to Blackbeard, or something like that. He'll be put in a situation like that.
Yeah, it's funny because like it feels like you're leading into like a Blackbeard or a sword controversy.
Yeah, and then with Blackbeard. I can't remember who I saw a short, and it was talking about a YouTube short about Pudding's relevance to being with Blackbeard and how it's connected to Garp. That because Garp knows about God's Valley, about what happened there, right? And he refuses to talk about it. And when Sengoku talks about it, he's just talking about it from what he got, not info from what he got, right? He practically crafted that story himself, Sengoku, right? Like Garp was there. Garp knows what really happened, but he doesn't want to talk about it with anyone. Pudding is able to use her powers and see your memories. Blackbeard's gonna be able to see what happened on God's Valley with Pudding's powers.
Garp, yeah.
I think that's really interesting. And because also, like, I do not see Blackbeard doing anything to Garp. Garp completely cancels Blackbeard. Blackbeard cancels Devil Fruits. Garp cancels Devil Fruits. So, like, it's just hockey. But then, here's back to this another thing I want to talk about. I think it's just very interesting. Blackbeard was able to give Shanks 3 scars.
How do you do it?
And there's something very interesting I want to talk about with the scars. Let me bring this up first. Luffy has three scars on him, right? 2 from Shanks, where the influence would be wanting to be a pirate, so he cuts himself, right? You know where he gets the 3rd scar from?
One more.
Akianu, the scar in his chest.
Oh shit.
Luffy's straw hat has 3 scars. He got it from Buggy. Shanks has 3 scars. He got it from Blackbeard. Blackbeard has injured Shanks, and I guess you could say Luffy has injured Shanks' arm, like because Luffy was involved, and that's why Shanks lost his arm. He bet on Luffy for the new generation, right? So if you go with like a pattern, like is Buggy gonna injure Shanks? Is Shanks gonna sacrifice himself in order to save Buggy? Like this whole pattern with 3, like because Buggy gave the Straw Hat 3 slashes, and I don't know if Akiano is gonna get involved too, as well. And then yeah, Blackbeard also, his Devil Fruit. He has to. Does he have 3 Devil Fruits? He has 3 skulls in his flag. Also another thing is he could be his Devil Fruit. He'll have 1 Paramecia, 1 Zone, and then 1 was it Paramecia, Zone, and what's the other Devil Fruit?
Mythical Zone?
No. There's 3: Paramecia, Zone, and there's another type of Devil Fruit. I need to look it up. Logia, Paramecia, and Paramecia. There you go. And Zone. Yeah, and then there's the subcategories. But yeah, the whole thing with Shanks and Blackbeard. But yeah, I think that scar thing is very interesting. There's, but yeah, with Shanks, it's not like Shanks had already gotten that scar. I think in episode 1, he had it already. Yeah, he did. So Shanks already knew already had Conqueror's Haki, and he was confident enough to lose an arm. And he was already clashing with Mihawk because Mihawk refused to fight Shanks when Shanks had 1 arm. So Shanks already probably was really strong, and he still was able to get that scar from Blackbeard. And this whole time, Shanks has been looking for Blackbeard. He warned, I can't say the chapter at the moment, but he warned Whitebeard about Blackbeard, and he wanted Whitebeard to stop Ace from going after Blackbeard. Because he warned Whitebeard, it's not like I was reckless when I got this scar. Shanks knows something other people don't know about Blackbeard. And then again on the recent chapter, he talked about, any whereabouts about Blackbeard? That's the reason why they were at Wano. They were looking for Blackbeard. Shanks wants to stop Blackbeard. He knows something. He probably saw something in him, or I don't know what, that even Shanks couldn't stop. It caught him off guard or something.
Yeah. Well, remember he has a weird body, quote. There's something there too. So what is it? But I think what it is remember like his ship, the Saber Sebek and whatnot. I really do think that Teach is a reincarnation of Rocks of Sebek.
Yeah.
to some degree, but I don't know to what, because he inherited his will, and we still don't know shit about it. And I guess when the whole GARP thing happens, we'll get more information, because history will repeat itself, or it has to be revealed. And God's value that definitely does play a big role, especially with Shanks, because he's the Fingerman family. What was it?
Yeah, Fingerland. Yeah, the one scene that I held when I went to go see it in the movies. Yeah, we went to go see film right in the movies, me and Hammer Time, and I had to go pee real bad, and I held it in, and I was like, okay, this scene seems bad. I'm gonna go right now. And the one when I finally got up, that was the whole reveal about Shanks when they did that. I missed it, and I already knew about it, but I was like, probably the biggest reveal in the whole movie. I missed it. I had to pee real bad.
Yeah, that was definitely relevant. That's for sure.
But back with the whole you're saying, the whole you think Blackbeard is you said like the reincarnation of Zebek, or maybe he could be taking on Zebek's will. I was seeing it's on Reddit, and I was watching have you heard of the One Piece YouTuber Threevil? Evil?
Yeah.
Or it's like, well, I was watching his live stream yesterday, and he was like literally like just hitting his vape pen, getting lit the whole time. Like, it was fucking funny. Like, I think he was blazed AF, like, obviously, like in front of everyone. But yeah, like he talked about how, and I've seen it before, about a character named Roche Thompson. This character is an impel down, right, in level 5 or 5.5 or something. 5, I think 5. It's a frozen prisoner, or it's a character. They have all these names in a list, right? And all the characters were confirmed because Ivan was in there. Who's this Roche Thompson, right? Nobody knows. And then when the anime came out, they show the same, like a frozen guy, right? And his name is Cairo Curio. And Cairo Curio means give me a hand warmer, right? But this name that's supposed to be Roche Thompson, right? And Roche means rocks in French. And people are like, well, why isn't he in the lower levels or the higher, like level 7 or something, where they delete you from history? Wouldn't they want to delete rocks? Well, in the scene, the scene where they show that frozen body who has it's a frozen body, and the dude has spiked hair. Looks like rocks, right? Rock spiked hair. No one has hair like that. It says, under, like in subtitles, it says he is either dead or preserved for the future. Preserved for the future, you say? Who else would be preserved for the future? I mean, he is either dead or preserved for the future. Like, that's what it says in the anime. Like, they're saying that while they show that. Like, the prisoners are, like a random prisoner from level 5 impaled down wouldn't be preserved for the future. Like, most likely the world government changed his name and moved him to level 5 so people won't go for him to try to break him out, maybe.
Or just in general. Like,
yeah, I think there's a lot of Reddit things talking about this. But yeah, it's in episode 437 and chapter 535 if you want to look that up in the future. But yeah, and then with Zebek, we don't know anything about him. Like, remember, the government erased him from history, right? All what we know about Zebek is what Sengoku said about him. And Sengoku don't know crap about Zebek. It's just from what he learned based off reports and all that, right? That's all Sengoku knows. Zebek, maybe he was good. We don't know. Maybe Zebek was bad, because Zebek, he was able to get all these conquerors in his crew and get them to follow him. That's a feat. That's some kind of feat right there. Like, yeah, a crew, a bunch of baddies, which I find actually very interesting because yeah, he has Captain John, that Silver Knight dude, Silver Axe, the guy that's on Hachinotsu, that's probably who Blackbeard took the island from. I forgot his name. He might be dead. Then there is Stussy. Then there's Kaido. And then there's Whitebeard. And there's Rocks. And then there's Big Mom. And then there's Shiki. 8 or 9 people. A lot of big names. Really strong people, right? Which I find fascinating because, like, what if, like, Zebek was trying to do something, but at any means cost, right? Like he was willing to like sacrifice people. And what if Garp and Raja knew that wasn't the right thing to do? Maybe he wanted to sacrifice the celestial dragons because Garp ended up saving them and he hates them, right? And later down the line, Garp realized like maybe what Zebek wanted to do was the right thing and what they did was the wrong thing. But yeah, technically what Zebek wanting to do was to save the world, right? He was probably, you know, trying to destroy the Red Line or something like that. Or do something like what Luffy's gonna do or what they think Luffy's gonna do. But a lot of people were gonna die in the process. So Roger and Garp teamed up to stop Zebek. So he could technically he could be a good guy. He might not even be bad. And
yeah, pirates.
Also another thing which I found really fascinating was way back in chapter 764, Whitebeard mentions and refuses was it 764? No way. I don't know. The chapter might be wrong. Let me see. Chapter 764. What happens in this one? Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. I put the wrong chapter. Well, I got the wrong chapter for this, but it was in the Roger flashback when it was Odin versus when Odin wanted to join Whitebeard's crew, and then Whitebeard's like, oh no. Odin couldn't join because he used to be in a crew, because Whitebeard used to be in a crew with people with Conqueror's Hockey. And Whitebeard is like, you can't be in a crew with Conquerors because they don't like taking orders from someone above. And Whitebeard is obviously mentioning the Rocks crew.
Yeah.
So Zebek was able to control him. Like, that's crazy. Like, so what was it? He knew something about him. He said some lies, or he said something, did stuff to get all those people to join him. Like, they haven't revealed that. What was that? Like, we don't know yet.
He had a certain power or a certain cocky, or he had something over them. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're also, if you think about it, like Big Mom was like a kid going out to be, you know, a lady and whatnot. Then Whitebeard in his younger days, you know, they kept on saying all that. So maybe they had something to do with it too. They weren't mature enough, or they just kept on following him for something, and they found that he was really evil, or they were all greedy in the end, you know.
Yeah, and like Captain John, apparently he was greedy. He died because he didn't want to share his treasure or something like that.
The other thing too is Big Mom got Kaido still from God's Valley, you know.
Yeah.
So Kaido wasn't 100% either, you know. He was probably strong, but without a Delphi, you know. Yeah, God Valley, big event. And now we're here in, you know, with Vegapunk. Who knows what's gonna happen? It feels that like something's gonna be twisted, and I don't know if anyone's gonna get captured or someone's gonna die, or you know, something big's gonna happen that's gonna twist the whole world of One Piece.
Yeah, well, speaking of that, it was either chapter 1079 or 1078, the recent one or the previous one. The narrator came out. The narrator never comes out, hardly comes out unless something big happens. The narrator of the story came out and said something happens that day that's going to change the events of the story for the next day or something tomorrow, because the narrator's talking about the next day, so we might just flash forward to the next day, like something crazy happens. So a lot of people either Saturn, the Gorosei, is gonna get hit by Luffy's gonna get captured, Robin's gonna get captured, something's gonna happen, something crazy is gonna happen within those next few hours. Maybe it was the whole kid being eradicated. Who knows?
I was reading somewhere in an SBS that Oda was saying, I hope no one dies.
That what? That Oda says
that what? Oda says something that he hopes no one dies. Like, yeah. Gets to the end and whatnot.
Also, there's a lot of things, a lot of stuff I want to talk about Kid. A lot of Kid talk right now.
I mean, we obviously know why.
Yeah, there's a lot. He has a lot of parallels to a lot of things. Let's see, what's a good one right here? Okay, so Kid pretty much got Bellamy'd. He got one shot. Do you think Kid's gonna come back, or do you think Kid is dead?
I think he's alive. Like he can't. I mean, I know we all knew he was gonna lose because Shanks,
Yeah.
and it was just really like people were saying that, like, you know, one piece we read was the promo for after Wano, and they didn't reveal that he was after Blackbeard. The Kid showing up, and then Law showing up, you know, with the other Yonko. You know, it was bound to happen. It just what sequence, you know, that's what wasn't revealed right away. But Kid showed up, he got one-shotted. Well, him and Killer got one-shotted. But I think, I mean, Shanks is too much of a nice guy to just let someone die like that.
Yeah.
And I think he's gonna use it, kind of like what happened to Luffy. He got defeated by Kaido. He went to jail. He went to training. Got up. You know, his Conqueror's Haki didn't let him be overwhelmed and be, you know, shifted. But Kid now is in Shanks territory in Elbaf, where Shanks revealed his strength. So I think there's gonna be some type of plot twist in the future where Kid's gonna have a vengeance against Shanks, and then he's gonna like do something behind the scenes to where it's in his benefit, or he just gets his revenge.
He's gonna team up with
Somebody or something.
Bartolomeo, because apparently Shanks went after Bartolomeo also.
Yeah, there you go.
He could be in prison. But yeah, one thing I noticed was, so the attack Shanks used on Kid is called Divine Departure, and I don't know if you know. Yeah, Rogers used that attack too. And you know who he's used the attack on?
On Odin.
Yeah, and you know what happened to Odin when he took that attack?
Yeah, like a Dragon Ball Z sequence happened where like 4 palm trees got hit.
Yeah, but he got up in the next panel.
Kept them running, yeah.
You know what happened to Kid in the next panel?
I didn't see that.
Well, Kid is practically dead. Like, they show him after taking the hit, and he's out cold. His crew is like, is he dead? Like, Kid's not breathing. Odin fucking took Roger's attack. Same attack. So, what I'm trying to say is Shanks stronger than Roger? Current Shanks stronger than Flashback Roger? Because Flashback Roger might be Prime Roger, because that's towards Odin joins towards the end of the journey. That was already at the end, like the last year, I think, last 2 years of Roger's life, I think.
You know, the one main thing I'm kind of concerned about is Caribou. Whose side is he on?
Blackbeard's probably. That's probably who he's talking to.
Yeah, because he knows too much information.
But yeah, so who do you think's stronger, Shanks or Roger? Like I was saying, Odin was able to get back up. Kid couldn't.
Well, here's also the way I see it. You know, that is a Ryu, is a Conqueror's Haki that they use with their attack, you know. But at the end of the day, Shanks, I don't know if he was younger than Roger when he learned all that. And obviously Shanks has a lot of
I think
Haki.
Shanks is 38 right now, I think.
Yeah, and then Roger was already like, he had like what one more year to live.
Yeah, one or two, because I think he when Odin joined, that was like the final journey for Roger. Just wanted to end it. He, you know, Odin was gonna help him end it. Same thing with the doctor that got to join them and all that. It's like a year, I think a year or two tops. That was
Crocus,
yeah, Crocus, yeah.
Yeah, well, anyway, so I think Roger, I mean, they showed the flashback, you know, but was it really his powerful attack? You know, was he just like showing off?
He could have been holding back. You could control how much power you use. You could use the same attack. Like, yeah, you're capable of using it, but it doesn't mean you're using the same power. Like, you could, you know, control how much Haki you're using. That could also be true. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's an example. When Ace was about to get stabbed, you know, in the Paramount War.
Yeah.
Luffy unlocked his Conqueror's Haki, and Arrow was like, "What the fuck was that?" You know, and then they're like, "Can you do it again?" What did I do? What are you talking about? You know, so his emotions, you know, controlled him, and he just did that. Shanks saw the future. He's like, "Oh, that ain't gonna happen." Boom, went in immediately because he didn't like the future he saw, so he retaliated. So I think his emotions. I mean, I guess and I remember Rayleigh saying something like that like you're in the heat of battle, hockey, prevails because you're in the moment and you're just like constantly using it, and you're exceeding its potential more. Shanks already knew what was up, and then he saw something he didn't like, and he's just like, I'm stopping this right now.
Yeah, and did it within a second or within 10 seconds, because Kid said, give me 10 seconds. I need 10 seconds, right? That's what Kid said. Shanks was able to flip through the documents, read Kid's background, ask if they had the background for Kid, look into the future, jump from like Elbath to wherever Kid's ship was, and knock out Kid in a span of 10 seconds. Or in a span of like 3 seconds or something. I don't know. It was super fast. Really fast. Kid, that all happened in a span of 10 seconds. Like Shanks was able to do all that. Like he's fast. Fast like how he was able to appear at Marineford. Fast how he was able to save Luffy from Higuma. But back with the whole kid thing, was Shanks stronger than Roger? But I'm just bashing Kid. But yeah, Kid, I just wanted to make the comparison that Odin was able to get up, Kid couldn't get up, right? So I think for story purposes, Kid should still, well, people actually think Kid shouldn't be alive because Kid is an example of a person failing, and that he could be used as that example. Like he has no part in the main story, just to support. But yeah, I could see Kid coming back, and I could see him getting saved because way back right after Wano, Law, Kid, and Luffy all agreed to where they were gonna go. Law took the northeastern path, Kid took the eastern path, and Luffy took the southeastern path, right? So technically they all went east, right? Different subcategories of east. Kid went pure east. So Kid is in between Luffy and Law. Law is northeast, Luffy is southeast. Kid is in between them, east. So if Law escaped Blackbeard in the submarine, if he was able to, or if Law's crew was able to escape, it would make sense for them to find Kid in the ocean, because where else would they go? They'd probably head towards, where Luffy's at, or head towards Kid or something, head that direction. So they'll bump into him. And they'll probably save him. Also, another parallel I saw was when Luffy was heading to Egghead, Luffy ended up saving one supernova, ended up saving another supernova. You get me? Luffy saved Bonnie. So it would make more sense if Law, a supernova, saved another supernova from those 3 islands.
That would make sense, yeah. They're all relevant.
Yeah, and I had come up with this earlier today when I was typing up the stuff right now. And another parallel I saw was in chapter 10:14, when Luffy was fighting Kaido for the fourth time. When Luffy lost to Kaido, he got knocked in the ocean, and then Luffy was talking to Momo, right, with the voice of all things. Luffy was underwater. This was chapter 10:15.
Yeah.
Law's sub was underwater, right? Law's crew saw Luffy talking to someone, like, why is Luffy talking underwater? Like, what's wrong? So yeah, Law's sub saved Luffy from being thrown by a Yonko, a supernova being thrown by a Yonko. Well, Kid got thrown by a Yonko, so maybe Law's sub will also save Kid too, and that's like another parallel. The yellow submarine.
Beatles.
And then another thing I was hearing is we all got to see how Law's crew ain't no joke. They could actually hold their own, like in an actual pirate ship battle, which is actually pretty cool. For Kid's crew, I know there's one character named Heat, and they could blow fire, right? I think in an SBS or something, it was revealed that another character in Kid's crew is called Dive. And I think Dive was one of the people begging to save. It was Heat, I think, that was begging to spare Kid's life to Shanks. And I think, yeah, Dive was there with him. I think, maybe not. But Dive is in the crew. And we already know what Heat does, right? Heat uses fire. What do you think dive does. You get me? He could dive in and save his crew. He's probably a really good swimmer. Maybe he's a fisherman or something. If we go with the whole what heat does, what can dive do? Like something with water.
Yeah, that's a lot, man.
Yeah. So a lot of stuff could happen.
Speculation.
Yeah. And then also, do you think Blackbeard wants Law's fruit?
I don't know. I don't know if he really knows I mean, he should know. He's a historian, right? Or archaeologist.
He's practically an archaeologist, yeah.
Yeah,
He's the archaeologist of the crew, yeah.
He should know. But does he really know? Or does he even want it? I don't know why he wouldn't, but will he take it from him? I don't know. Does he have anyone in his crew that would want it? I don't know. His doctor, already has something. Yeah, maybe he'll want to sell it. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a lot of stuff. But it's still good though but yeah, it's just good when you're a surgeon or a doctor already.
One thing I noticed is that if Blackbeard was to get access to that fruit, kill Law, manipulate Law to use the fruit, right? Get one of his crew members to use the fruit. Like you said, he has a doctor, but the doctor has the fruit already. Get someone to use the fruit. Would he use the immortality, the youth surgery on himself? Or someone on his crew, because I realized that if you're the whole perpetual youth surgery, you're technically you stay young, you can't grow old, right? You could only die from getting aced.
Yeah.
So you're technically immune to Bonnie's powers and Shinobu's powers. Maybe Blackbeard's scared of Bonnie's powers or something, or I don't know. Maybe something with the whole Bonnie has some aging thing. You can't age.
Yeah, but I guess at the end of the day, is it really important to the story at the moment, or is it just more like the fight that was?
Bonnie seems really important. Her powers, she might use her powers to age up the Seraphim, so they become optimal at their peak.
Yeah.
And what do you think? Another question. What do you think is the greatest feat in the series? I've been hearing this one pop up a lot.
The greatest feat?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on.
Or feats. Well, you can name some. You don't have to stick to one. Stick to multiples. I have some jotted down already. So.
I mean, Katakuri. That's always been mine, I guess.
Being able to predict the future.
Learn and beating the commander, that was a big feat. Because Luffy wanted that, and he had a hard time doing it, And beating Kaido, that's another one. Pissing off Big Mom, making her move, get out of her domain. Poke Island, go to Wano. I would say Crocodile, that's one too. But there's also the Marines, they have their own feats, they have their own agendas. I don't know, it really depends on the person, is it about the story? Is it about a fight? Is it an accomplishment?
Yeah, anything, any kind of accomplishment, anything what you think. Those are all good.
What brought value, to you, that's really.
For me, a lot. Recently, of course, Divine Departure was a big feat, I think, what Shanks did. Like I said, he jumped for I don't know how many miles within seconds to wipe out in under 10 seconds. Did all that. That was one. And then I think another one was that possibly might be the strongest attack in the whole series at the moment, Divine Departure.
Yeah. I mean, there's stuff out there, right? But I still feel like we haven't seen too much on the government / dragon side. I feel like there's more stuff to be revealed.
I hope there's a lot more stronger. I hope there's stronger government people. I hope the Celestial Dragons or the Gorosei are OPAF. I hope there's. Another was Zoro one-shotting Hody Jones. I thought that was an amazing feat. That was awesome. And another one was Dorian Braga using Hakako sovereignty pre-time skip, even post-time, both times. Because I was telling you, I think the strongest attack in the series for the longest time, even post-time skip for a good while, was Dorian Braga's Hakaku sovereignty attack.
That big
Probably until Big Mom and Kaido did it. which Zoro effing tanked. Not even freaking Law or Kid could tank Dorian Broggies. Like, Killer tried to pull a Zoro and save Kid, but he couldn't. He couldn't tank it. You gotta have that Zoro. Man, Zoro's so much potential.
So do you know what Zoro did in that moment?
He took it until Law teleported him out. Right?
Well,
As long as
it's funny because our friend Adam, you remember Adam?
Yeah.
Adam's actually a big fanboy of Zoro. I hang out with him from time to time still here and there, but we saw that episode where Zoro did that tank, and then Adam, because Adam's Adam, he's all about history. He's all about, like, he collects swords, he collects guns, stuff like that. It's about the samurai. He's actually Japanese himself.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a little thing there you don't know about. Yeah. So what Zoro really did is he cut a hole through that attack, like a very small hole to where Ariel was able to fit for a moment. So he just made a hole. It's not that he tanked it necessarily, but it's like, oh, I'm fighting it. Oh, boom! I cut through it somehow, and we survived. But yeah, I mean, it is still tanking it really in the end. But the point is, he had Enma on him. He used 3 swords. He was able to get through, and the Yonko both freaked out by it.
Yeah.
And everyone they survived it because they should have survived.
Yeah, they were getting the Yonko, Big Mom, and Kaido. Zoro surprised them both multiple times. Remember when Big Mom warned Kaido, like, yo, don't get hit that, don't take that attack, avoid that attack right now, like, don't get hit by that attack. She warned him, and then Kaido recognized Zoro being able to have advanced conquerors haki, not just conquerors, advanced conquerors haki. That's a huge feat. Not even Kid could use it, and then the whole being able to tank that hit.
Yeah, it was a big deal. That was a good feat too.
Yeah, and then back to the whole Shanks using Divine Departure. When I saw that panel where Shanks did attack, you know what the first thing that popped in my head was? I'm like, this is what Zoro could do probably. This is Zoro's potential. Some of his, like, Zoro will eventually get here one day and probably even surpass this, like, because Zoro technically could do an attack like that. He's capable of doing an attack like that because he has a sword. And he's able to utilize Advanced Conqueror's Haki, which Shanks is doing. And I just think that's so impressive. That is so awesome. Zoro's a GOAT.
Yeah, it is. It's not something you see every day, that's for sure. And I was happy to see Shanks finally do something, because how long has it been? 20 years? He just kept on saying the same thing. We're finally going to meet. You're a great pirate. And now it's like, I know there was like some foreshadows to video games that you can use Shanks and you can see some of his power, but at the end of the day, it's like, it's the manga, the anime that's what really propels it, because you're seeing him actually do something now. Like he attacked. He's not just talking to the Gorosei. He's blowing up now. He made a movie. See what I did there? He made his move.
Speaking of extending vowels, extending words, you know about the whole long ring, long land stuff?
Oh yeah.
It is so interesting. Whole when they ask about the old man, I forgot his name, about why is everything so long here.
OG, like, I think
the vast Oji-san or something. The vast long plain, everyone feels free, so they grow longer and taller. That's what he says. So it's because of the vast long plain. Everyone feels free here, so they grow longer and taller. So, and then when Usopp and Chopper get off the island and they start seeing all the long things, they start changing too. They're like getting long and all that. Like they're and then how they pronounce things like it's a tree. Like they extend the vowels. But I just find it fascinating that once every year, when the tide is the lowest, and only for a few hours, the islands reveal their true shape as one giant ring-shaped landmass. You know about that, right?
Yeah, the theory and how that might be the one.
Yeah, what's hidden there? What is there? That's fascinating. Even if it isn't the One Piece, that is still So fascinating that happened years ago. We just completely avoided it.
And the thing is, like, they're kind of near Water 7, you know, so, like, maybe the Agua Iguana has something to do with
Yo,
it.
it is connected. I think it's, yeah, I think it might be connected. Yeah, probably is. Aqua Laguna, which is why it gets like that. But yeah, I wonder what's there. And then,
It's a lot of.
the just so I think the pre-time skip is fascinating. A lot of stuff in the pre-time skip is aging like fine wine. Like Skypia, I always loved Skypia, and I think Skypia, the whole Jaya Skypia, that stuff's just gonna age even better. Like, especially with the whole Bellamy talking about the Emerald City. Yo, what's the Emerald City? Like, we don't know. Everything else he mentioned came true. The City of Gold, the One Piece. We all know they exist now. Yeah, I have a lot of Bellamy stuff. I need to make that Bellamy video.
Yeah. On top of that, Skypea also revealed, like, you know, the poneglyph that's up there, how that was probably part of Wano at one point. You know, there's a lot of connections. And Roger leaving, like, the message there, or Odin, should I say? And then, like, I really want to know how you get up there. Like, aside from the, what's it called? The upstream.
Knock upstream.
Yeah, knock upstream. That thing that kills you, or you make it. So I think Elbaf might be related to that too. You know, maybe that tree that's there leads to Sky Island.
Oh,
Because they were saying there's an easier way to get there.
Yeah.
And then all the technology they have there, like
you have to
the
jump. Yeah, I think that's the way Bellamy took.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. So and then I like
of doing it.
their technology with dials, like you have the regular dial, then you have like the one that's like similar to Rio, which is the impact dial, and then there's the ones where they record stuff.
Yeah, the dials they're interesting. I'm surprised they kind of are not relevant anymore to the plot. They should be.
Maybe. I think Usopp is one who like try to like stock up and stuff. You know, he got some stuff, but I don't know if he really still has it anymore.
They probably died, like broke or something. Yeah, he used to have them. Oh, here's another thing. I was if you had noticed it, when there's a callback to chapter 1 in the recent chapter when Kid pointed his railgun at Elbaf. It was a callback to when Higuma pointed his gun to Luffy, for chapter 1. But yeah, Kid pointed his gun to the Elbaf and the Grand Fleets. Yeah, pretty much the bottom line is, you do not point a gun when Shanks is around, or you just don't point a gun at people in general, because then they're gonna point it back at you. You're walking into something. You better be able to, accept what you're walking into. Kid pointed a gun at someone, so yeah, we're gonna point a gun back at you. You're taking what we
risk it with your life.
Yeah, I thought that was really, really interesting too. And then also another thing was, Shanks lost an arm because of Higuma, right?
Okay.
Luffy or Higuma, like Shanks lost something. What did Shanks lose to Kid? Was Higuma a bigger threat to Shanks? He did more damage to Shanks than what Kid did. All Kid did was like make Shanks see the future. And then what's even funnier is that the people Kid was gonna annihilate were confirmed to be just fodder weaklings. So Kid annihilating Shanks's fleet were just a bunch of weaklings, that old people and stuff. Like, it was nothing. It was not even a feat. Like Shanks just didn't want his friends to get hurt. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, he let his emotions get to him.
Yeah, Kid just literally was gonna one-shot a bunch of weaklings, like innocent civilians, kind of, I guess you could say. Like, nothing impressive about that.
Well, I mean, it's who he is. That's all you got is 500 million bounty at the time.
Or what do you think? Maybe when Shanks wanted to see Kid's background, right? And then right before he did the attack on Kid, he looked at his background. Maybe that influenced Shanks' hockey, his emotions, like you were saying. Also, like, he saw how bad of a person Kid was. Maybe he did it purposely to, reboot Kid, reset Kid. Like, you need to learn your lesson or something. Like, or maybe, what do you think? What if Kid joins Shanks' crew?
Redhead.
Red hair. They all have red hair. Yeah, he could be the new captain after Shanks dies to Blackbeard. They both have one arm. They both have red hair.
That's possible. I'm not gonna deny it.
And then another
I do feel kind of bad for Kid though.
yeah, I want to see more of him. I really hope it's not over for him, because it is so possible. It's believable, because even Kid's backstory, Oda revealed it in an SBS. That just right there proof that he's probably just scrapping Kid. That Kid, he's gonna just use the Kid as an example of a crew that failed.
Yeah, what I didn't like about Kid's character in general, like Law got his screen time. You know, Luffy did, obviously, right? Next generation. Capone. You know, now we're getting Jody Bonnie. You know, we're still pending Ormond. Yeah, Oroge. Anyways, Kid, we saw his bounty, we saw his name. Not once did they ever reveal what the hell his Doffer was. Like, yeah, it's Magneto, but like,
I never thought about that. You're right. They haven't really. That is true.
They kind of like really off-screen him. It's like Oda had all this work to do, and he just dropped the ball on that one, or maybe he really didn't care.
And then also with that is, I never thought of it like that. That is true. I just picture it when I think of Kid. I just think of Magneto.
Well, we play Marvel, so.
Yeah. But yeah, with yeah, I still think there's a lot. Oh, also, what is it called? That thing when the ship's spirit, Cloboterman.
Oh, yeah.
A Cloboterman, that people were saying that. I think it was Par Vision. I was watching one of his streams, and he was talking about how that a Cloboterman comes out, like the spirit of the Cloboterman comes to your ship like right before your ship's death, right? Well, kids named their ship. The kids' crew named their ship after that childhood friend crush they had, Kid and Killer. That was the name of the ship. So maybe their Cloboterman was that girl. She came out for like 1 second, but was instantly killed along with Kid and everyone because of Shanks and Dory and Broggy. So like that was like the joke. Like the Cloboterman came around for like 1 second to help them out, but was killed instantly. And then another thing was I forgot to mention about with who could be rescuing Kid. And then back when you were talking about his devil fruit, because Kid said he was looking for a man with a burned scar or something on his face, right? Kid's looking for that person. Yeah. You think that could be Jaguar D. Saul?
Yeah, everyone's been saying that already, which is very possible. But
and Saul could save Kid, because I was hearing people say like, Saul knows about the history. He knows a lot. He probably knows about things a lot like we don't know yet for the plot. He knows things. He probably knows in order to get to those things, you need Kid's power. He might need Kid, and he might save Kid's life in order to use that power. Because like people were saying that Kid probably had an easy streak in the Grand Line and the New World. Because you know how you need a log pose, to be able to travel, and there's like magnetic currents and all that underwater. Well, Kid could completely just bypass all that with his devil fruit powers and just sail easily. You don't have to worry. He could manipulate all that and probably just have the ship go wherever he wants. Like he's practically the ship's navigator, or ship. I don't know what. You know what I mean?
yeah. Some high level stuff, man.
Yeah. And that could be why Jaguar D. Saul could save him. I just don't know why Kid's looking for him. But yeah. And what are your thoughts on Shanks's Yonko fleet?
Well, you tell me, man.
Okay, where is it? I had to jot down their names. Where is it? There's Social Club band leader Fugar the Adventurer, captain of the Puddle Pirates Frog Toes Ribbiton,
Oh yeah.
and princess of the Burjois. I can't say that word. It's French. Kingdom Pururu the Brave. Princess of the. The old man and the Tanada. But yeah, the old man. I think he's either was like a legendary pirate from Roger's time and he knows Shanks because of Roger, or like maybe Shanks just loves to party so much he has like his whole fleet is just something to maintain the parties and keep them consistent. Like the Social Club guy, Fugar, could be the one in charge of inviting guests and, you know, getting all the alcohol and drugs and stuff like that. That's him. Like, he's the Social Club leader, so he could be in charge of that. And maybe somebody's in charge of games, getting the food. Like, that's all of Shanks' grand fleet, just people for party. Maybe there's pirates that just like to gamble and they have all the games and they just want to do Davy back fights. Like, that's how I'm picturing Shanks' grand fleet. Like, he just has all these alliances with people who like to party for different niches, different kind of party. But yeah, like
it's the whole recipe.
What?
It's the whole recipe.
Yeah, he just likes to party. And I found it actually really interesting how it was Shanks met, there was a scene where Shanks met Ace and they partied together. And then Ace met Buggy and they partied together. It's like you could say they're all three brothers. Ace, Buggy, and Shanks are like real true brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's really good. I was thinking about that.
Man, there's so much One Piece mysteries. Crazy. The one that really gets me the most is in Punk Hazard. Like what happened to what's her face? The chick with snow?
Oh, Monet.
Like, did she really die? You know, like, what was the behind the scenes with that?
Yeah, because I don't want to say she died, but there was that scene where after she died, they showed snow rabbits all in the sea, and people were saying that was her devil fruit. I don't know if you remember that panel or that scene.
Yeah.
After the explosion, they show a bunch of snow rabbits. People were saying that could be her, or that the fruit, if she did die, her fruit could have grown on the Thousand Sunny, because Onami has fruit there. Her tangerine tree or something, orange tree.
Yeah.
I remember reading about that way back in Oro Jackson. People were talking about that when I was all into the reading the theories.
Yeah.
Yeah, because on Punk Hazard, they show Smiley. When Smiley dies, they show there was a fruit basket on a sled, and Smiley's fruit basically formed into one of those apples that was there, because it was the closest. And then when they show all those snow rabbits, that the orange tangerine tree is closest, because the Thousand Sunny's right there on the ocean.
Okay, well,
yeah.
So one mystery that's like a what if for me, or I probably have to say, is probably like in Jaya on Skypiea. I know that's like the missing island, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I remember seeing that the Uteron theory video called like that might
be the One Piece
in his lobby or something like that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. It's a lot of things, like how also it could be the One Piece or something. Like the missing eye is the One Piece missing for the island, and
linking his eye in the manga chapters, and
they're hiding, or whatever is inside the Eni's lobby is that they're hiding it. It could go all the way down underwater, right, or something like that, or it goes really low. Yeah. And the way how it's, I remember back at the time when I was like in high school watching Eni's lobby, I thought that was very interesting, and like, again, I'm always using fascinating, like the big wall, the gate, what's it called, the Gates of Justice?
Yes.
Like, that was just, why is that there? Like, there has to be a reason. Something's there. They're hiding something. Like,
and then the other one, the Florian Triangle, like
Oh yeah, that is really interesting.
Or it was more
I was looking at a map, right? Of where it's over here. Where Luffy, Law, and Kid were going, right? Like right after Wano.
Mm-hmm.
And in that map, they detail that it shows where Hachinotsu is, right? There's two maps. And they show Hachinotsu and Elbath on the map, on Wano. And Yukiryu Island, which was where Shanks was before. But yeah, what I didn't know was right next to Hachinotsu, like on the right, is Thriller Bark. I find that really interesting. So, we're really close to Thriller Bark right now.
Yeah.
I had no idea, especially Law. Law is very close to Thriller Bark, and it makes sense Moria went to Hachinotsu. And what's up with Moria's fate? Like, he could be alive or he could be dead. Like, I could see either one happening. Like,
I think he's being used by Blackbeard.
He's being used, but yeah, I could, yeah. But Moria knows something. He got wiped out by Kaido. Why did Moria think controlling people was the way? Like he had to have some big brain plays. Like, why did he got, was it Ryuma? He got Oars. Like I like the whole theory about Oars was the continent. He's the continent puller, and like that's actually Joy Boy. Like Oars he actually got Joy Boy, and then the parallel is like Luffy. He got his powers again with Luffy. Sun got Nika or whatever. When Oars was Luffy's shadow was in him, and that's the reason why he was able to actually use the powers. That was really cool.
Nightmare Luffy.
Yeah, well, there's that one too, which is pretty much Gear 4th Luffy.
Yeah, at its time, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so Thriller Bark is right there. So, what were you gonna say?
Well, Zoro, nothing happened.
Oh, that is a feat right there too. Man, speaking of that, Kuma is a beast.
Yep. Pirate.
He did that in Thriller Bark. He did that to Zoro. He practically beat the Straw Hats in Thriller Bark. Right? Then he wiped him out. In the very next arc, in Sabaody, he wiped him out. And again, he's out. They're showing him. And Luffy compares him to Kaido. He compares the S-Bear to Kaido. Practically probably the same thing. So that's crazy. Like Luffy's teaming up with Lucci, which is amazing. And yeah, already the alliance makes sense. And yeah, they're both attacking S-Bear and S-Hawk. And yeah, Luffy compared them to Kaido. I was like, man, why are they taking all these hits? Like,
are you Kaido? He just gets up.
Yeah, they haven't used Advanced Conquerors yet. I don't think they have. Like, no, they haven't gone in their awakening form. Oh, another thing is, in the recent chapter, they show how, who calls him? Luffy calls Kaku Usopp, and that's probably going to be really important later. Like, maybe Solar King will come back, or maybe a callback to when Zoro fought Kaku. He had a sword. Do you remember what his sword was called back in Eni's lobby?
The one that got broken, or
no, the one he used against Kaku.
The watching emoji, or you're talking
Usopp.
about? I mean, Usopp.
Usopp was his sword. He wielded Usopp, and technically Usopp is with him. So I think maybe Zoro will end up wielding Kaku as a sword or something.
Wow,
that'll be his Usopp. But yeah, I could see some crazy team up coming up with them. But Zoro, he could get lost easily, because I don't know if you remember. I think it was Manchetti when back in Dressrosa, Zoro was like forever he was lost, running with one of the Tanadas. I think it was the Princess Manchetti. She was giving him directions of where to go, right? Literally, he had a talking GPS with him, telling him where to go, make a left, make a right, directly into his ear. He still got lost. Zoro still got lost. And then back in, it was in Long Ring Longan, in the Foxy fight, in the Davy Back fight. Zoro went in a straight line, in a little island straight line. He ended up in the separate path that was like abandoned, like in a separate island. Like, how do you end up there? And they're like, how'd you end up there? You're supposed to just go in a straight line. How'd you end up in the right, like by yourself? So yeah, I feel something hilarious is gonna happen.
All right, well, hey man. So unfortunately, this is my one more. So if you have one more mystery or anything else you want to call out, this will be a time. I have to attend for my work.
Well, I think that's about a lot of. I said a lot already. I'm keeping some stuff for what I want to upload later, but yeah, there's a lot. I could keep going. But I think we got a lot already.
25 years, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it was going on for almost 2 hours, an hour and 40 minutes. That's the longest podcast I've done. But hopefully this isn't the last one. Hopefully we get to do this again. New chapter comes out next week.
Yeah, I'm eagerly waiting for that.
Yeah.
I really want to know who that. If there's more to the trader, or there's more to the Blackbeard stuff, you know. Holding my breath.
Yeah, so the podcast will be, what was it, the RGV Grand Line Fleet Grand.
Yeah, that's good. Works.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll upload this right now. I don't think I need to do any editing. I'm just gonna upload it to convert it to HD, and then upload it onto YouTube.
There'll definitely be another one. You know, we need more information too, and I'll send you some content that I have. Yeah.
Like I said, also like, I want to make more videos like that are not podcasts or live reactions, like the other ones, like discussions, like kind of maybe like this, but a lot of podcasts. I don't know. It's tedious because it's like I'm gonna put work. Will I get views? Will I not? And it's like if I don't do it, someone's gonna eventually upload it. I'm like and do it. They're just like they'll beat me to it. It's just I just gotta do it. Yeah.
All right, man. Well,
yeah,
it was nice, awesome. Well, I definitely want to do this again, and yeah, man, we'll see you next time.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. All right, and thanks for watching, everyone.
All right, peace.
If you ended up liking this podcast, throw a follow, subscribe, like. It'd mean a lot. I stream One Piece live reactions. I play Yu-Gi-Oh. I've been playing RE4 remake on my Twitch. If you want to watch, play Yu-Gi-Oh duels. I upload a lot of One Piece content on my YouTube channel. I mean a lot if you subscribe. I want to upload more, talk about it, do podcasts with viewers, talk to the viewers about things. I kind of want to start streaming on YouTube also. I only stream on Twitch. But yeah, I want to, get to know the One Piece community better. I love the series, want to talk about it more. I hope it stays around for a long time. Yeah, thanks for watching.